I'm Paul with Lobstick Outfitters, and today we're going to be talking about a basic nymph rig setup. We use nymph fishing techniques up here in Pittsburgh frequently. We've got great water for it, so what we're going to do is we're going to break it down for you and prepare you to get out on the water and catch some fish. So let's get to it. So here's our basic nymph rig setup. We're going to be talking, we're going to go through each little piece. We'll go from the rod down. Talk about how we would set that up. So for the rod, we like to use a 9-foot 5 weight rod. Handwriting's horrible, but that's a great rod for around here. Great for nymphing, good for throwing dries, good for even small streamers. We use it a lot. Next, you would pair that with your weight forward floating line. That would be a 5-weight line we'd be using. Nowadays, the lines have those perfection loops, so we'd be able to attach our leader. We'd be using a lot of times a 9-foot 4X or 5X leader, perfection loop attachment, and then we'd add maybe a piece of 4X tippet material onto the end, extend the life of that leader, give a little bit extra length if we need it. And then we'd be going to our point fly, our larger of the two flies. Bill did a few fly tying videos. One of his flies was called the Sinks Like a Stone, and that was a very heavy fly, 3 beads. And the reason he tied that was that weight is going to get that fly, that whole fly rig, right down into the pocket, right into the fish's strike zone very quickly. And so that might be some kind of fly you'd use. You may not be using a fly that heavy, but depending on what you're doing, but that would be a fly we tie there. And then off of that, we would tie another little piece of tippet, and we'd be doing, if we're using 4X above, we'd be using a 5X piece of tippet material, maybe 18 inches more, a little less. I don't go less than 12 inches, I guess, but typically a little bit more like 18 inches, and to our dropper fly. Bill also did another fly tying video, and he had a couple flies. One of them was a black tufted midge, so a little bead head. So that would be something that you might tie on, and you'd have your nice little setup right there, ready to go. Next on that, we would be tying on, putting on a indicator. So there's our strike indicator. We like to use the airlock strike indicators. I use the 3/4 inch ones quite a bit. We carry those in the shop. Go through quite a lot of them too, but they're really great. Good visibility, high float, and really easy to adjust with the screw-on cap and kind of the inline slot. So you can just loosen the cap and slide it up and down wherever you want, and it goes really, really fast. Now, it comes to setting your indicator when you're fishing a rig like this. One of the rules, again, it's a guideline, would be you're going to go 1.5 times the depth of the water. So if you've got a 4-foot water, you're going to be setting your indicator is going to be set at 6 feet, and that would be from indicator to your dropper fly. So you'd say that would be 6 foot. Now, some of these rules could change. You may have to, you may have to increase that or decrease that depending on slower water, faster water. The real key here is to not really get caught up with this. This is just a guideline. The key is to be constantly adjusting this indicator. You're wanting to get those flies down, to be ticking the bottom. You don't want them getting caught up and getting hung up all the time. They're still going to get caught up sometimes, but you want that kind of a consistent, that indicator's going to be going down. You're going to see a little tick, tick, and you're going to see that that's hitting the bottom, getting those flies where you want them. So that takes constant adjustment. Sometimes, though, you've got this rig, you've got your flies, and you still don't have enough weight to get those flies down into the strike zone. So you're going to be adding some split shot. don't go crazy and just add all the split shot in the world. You want to kind of, again, this is a fine tuning. You're trying to, for each section, especially in a pocket water up in Pittsburgh, each little run, each little pocket's a little deeper, a little shallower. Water is moving at a different rate, so you've got to always make these fine tuned adjustments. But a lot of times we use the number 6 or number 4 split shot. Number 6 is a 0.1 grams and number 4 is 0.2 grams. So everybody has their own little choice of what they like to use. I tend to use a lot of number 4. I'll use number 6 too, but number 4. So you can add your weight. This is also debatable where you want to put it. One of the most common, of course, is to add split shot just above, about 8 inches or so above that point fly. That'll help kind of pull those flies down into the strike zone. And sometimes you're going to add maybe 2 of them together. So if you're doing like the number 6, you might have 2 of those. Sometimes you're even going to do that and you're going to add 2 in between the point and the dropper. So there's a lot of ways to go. If that would say those are the number 6s, if I'm doing my number 4, I'm going back here, I'm going to do, number 4 here, number 4 there. You're going to get the same weight in the end. Sometimes the smaller ones, the number 6, because they're less bulky, they can the number 4s can sometimes also get hung up on the bottom. So it's all personal preference what you like to do. Try it out. The whole point with this stuff is to play around and see what works for you, and figure it out, get comfortable, and have fun with it. Nymphing isn't just a set it and forget it kind of thing. You're not going to just set your indicator, put your split shot on, have just these 2 flies, and then just go at it. You're going to be shortchanging yourself, and you might catch some fish, but just mean a lot of fish you're going to miss because you're not making those fine-tuning adjustments with that indicator or with that split shot. So don't just set it and forget it. Move it around, play with it, and you're going to figure it out, and you're going to catch some fish. And there's your basic nymph rig setup. Thanks for watching today. We hope you enjoyed. If you did, you can click to subscribe. We're all getting excited for the coming season. We hope to see you up here in Pittsburgh. Have a good day, and we'll see you on the water.